Welcome to the channel of Agriclarity by Clarity for Sure. Have you ever wondered why so many students, despite clearing the written exam, fail again and again in the interview stage of IBPS AFO? You are not alone. The truth is, clearing the mains exam proves your technical knowledge, but the interview, that's where they test something else. This is episode 4 of Clarity Talks. Today we are going to talk about the mistakes that the students are making in the interview stage. So many students are there, those who always falter in the interview stage. They are doing very well in prelims, then they are doing good in mains also, but somehow they are not able to clear the interview. So we are going to talk about them. Okay, if you avoid all these mistakes, you will be able to definitely do well in the interview. So पहला रीज़न के बारे में बात करते हैं. पहला रीज़न is not knowing about your current job. If you are a working professional, you need to know about what you are doing currently, right? You might be thinking that I know, but then you are asked certain questions which you are not able to answer. That gives a very bad impression. Suppose you are currently working as a teacher in an agricultural college. Then the panel might ask you, what subjects do you teach? How do you explain soil fertility to students? Or even, have you ever helped students with any research or field work? And then you have to explain that. You cannot be clueless about it and then fumble, because you have to show your confidence in these scenarios, right? If you can't answer confidently, it shows you are disconnected from your role. The panel starts thinking, if this person isn't serious about their current job, will they be serious in ours? So then they don't want to make you an AFO, right? Because this is a very serious job. Whether you are a teacher, a sales executive in any agri company, or working in a KVK, you must be thorough with your job role, what you have learned from it, and how it's relevant to an AFO's duties. So these questions might be asked. Now, for some of you who are not doing agri-related jobs, right? Some of you might not be doing, agri-related jobs. So let's call them non-agri jobs. So they will face a little bit of problem in answering these questions. But what you have to do is, you have to sit, you have to come prepared. आप क्या कीजिए, अगर आप नॉन एग्री जॉब्स कर रहे हैं तो बैठकर देख लीजिए कि आपका जो जॉब रोल है ना, वो तो आपको पता ही होगा. लेकिन द थिंग इज़, जब आपको ये सवाल पूछेंगे ना प्रेशर कंडीशन में, तो आप बहुत सारे पॉइंट्स को मिस कर दोगे और एक बेटर आंसर नहीं दे पाओगे. तो आपको क्या करना है, ये पूरा जॉब रोल का आपको लिस्ट बनाना है. फिर आप कहीं पर बैठकर इसे ये भी लिखिए कि ये आपको जो जॉब रोल दिया गया है, यहाँ पे आपने क्या क्या सीखा है जो आपको AFO की जॉब प्रोफाइल में हेल्प करने वाला है ना. दैट इज़ हाउ यू रिलेट. देन दे विल बी कन्विंस्ड कि ओके, दिस पर्सन इज टेकिंग हिज जॉब सीरियसली एंड ही विल बी एबल टू कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट इन दिस वे, राइट? ठीक है, तो जो नॉन एग्री जॉब्स कर रहे हैं उनको देखना पड़ेगा कि उनका जॉब रोल क्या है और वो जॉब रोल में उन्होंने क्या क्या सीखा है जो उन्हें AFO में हेल्प करने वाला है. तो कुछ कुछ चीज़ें तो आपने इस जॉब में सीखी ही होंगी. जैसे मान लीजिए टाइम मैनेजमेंट सीखा होगा, है ना. फिर आपने सीखा होगा कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स, कुछ ना कुछ आपका इम्प्रूव हुआ होगा और ये किसी ना किसी तरीके से आपको हेल्प करेगा. तो उसके लिए बैठ के, अब मुझे नहीं पता ना आप कौन सा जॉब कर रहे हैं, तो वो बैठ कर डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा कि क्या क्या स्किल्स को आप AFO के जॉब रोल में यूटिलाइज़ कर पाएंगे, है ना. तो वो आपको तैयार करना पड़ेगा आंसर. अगर आप हमारे इंटरव्यू सेशंस लेंगे जब आप क्वालिफाई करेंगे, तो इसको बनाने में हम भी आपकी काफ़ी मदद करेंगे. चलिए फिर नेक्स्ट मिस्टेक के बारे में बात करते हैं. हाँ, तो नेक्स्ट मिस्टेक है लैक ऑफ अवेयरनेस अबाउट एग्रीकल्चरल प्रैक्टिसेस, उसके बाद गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स. ठीक है, इमेजिन द पैनल आस्क यू व्हाट आर द करेंट स्कीम्स फॉर इरिगेशन और हाउ डज PMFBY work. If you hesitate or give vague answers, it shows a lack of knowledge, right? So as an AFO, you will be on the front line, advising farmers, suggesting cropping patterns, or guiding them toward credit facilities. You should be aware of schemes like PM Kisan, PMFBY, Atma, E-Naam, Soil Health Card, और भी जो है वो सारे आपको पता होने चाहिए, है ना. Also, they may ask practical questions like what crop would you suggest to a farmer in a dry region of Maharashtra? Okay, so you have to be practical in these scenarios because they will be asking you practical questions. Your answer should reflect sound knowledge of agronomy and the farmer's needs, right? So show them the real world application of your knowledge. All right. Okay, let's talk about the third one, poor body language and communication.
right? You may know everything, but if you sit slouched, avoid eye contact. Okay, that gives a very bad impression. Or you speak too softly, in a very feeble voice. It spoils the impression. It makes you feel, it makes you appear very underconfident. AFOs deal with farmers, so you must speak clearly and confidently. Alright, because AFO is not a desk job. You will meet farmers, convince them, explain banking products, and sometimes resolve conflicts. So you have to have that confidence in yourself, right? So when you speak to the panel, show energy and confidence. Sit straight, smile mildly, make eye contact, and speak in a polite but clear tone. For example, if they ask, how would you convince a farmer to take a KCC loan? Don't just give theory, explain it like you're actually talking to a farmer. That's what they're judging. And why are you saying what? That also you should be able to explain. Alright. Next is the fourth mistake that we make is no clarity on why you want this. This is something everybody wants, right? We just want the tag of a government job without knowing your why, right? So one of the most common answers is that, this is a government job, I want stability. But this is not convincing. You need to build a story. Suppose you have a degree in agriculture and whatever degree you have, whether it is in terms of fisheries, agriculture and engineering, and you are currently working in sales. So you could say, I want to use my technical knowledge and field experience to work more closely with farmers, not just to sell a product, but to support their overall growth. AFO gives me that opportunity. You see the difference? You just said that I want stability, so I want a government job and hence I want to be an AFO. You don't do that. Okay? So I gave you a good example. How will you say that I want to use my technical knowledge and field experience to work more closely with farmers, not just to sell a product, but to support their overall growth. And AFO gives me that opportunity. The panel wants to hear why this job fits you. They're not just hiring a candidate, they're selecting a future representative of the bank in rural India. So behave accordingly, right? You are going to be a future representative of the bank for the farmers. So you have to have that clarity on why you want the job and why are you good at it. One more thing I want to tell you is that have the belief in yourself. Okay, you will be able to be a good AFO. If you don't believe it yourself, how will you convince the panel? So you believe that, okay, I have the requisite knowledge, I have done this graduation in this particular agricultural subject, whatever it is, right? You be very good with the subject knowledge also. So this faith will come when you are good with your subject, because any subject related questions they might ask. So if your subject related knowledge is on point, you will be able to answer it, right? And then you will have confidence. The first thing this will instill in you is confidence. When you are confident, then you will be able to answer better, right? You will think that, okay, I deserve this, right? Okay, let's go to the next. This is the last mistake, that ignoring basic banking knowledge. See, even if you are going to become an AFO, you need to know the basic banking, all right? Because you are joining a bank, even if as an agriculture field officer, so you must know what is PSL, KCC limits, right? What is NPA, then the term loan, crop loan. Yes, NPA is non-performing assets. So how do you define them? Okay, suppose they might ask, a farmer wants a loan to buy a tractor. What kind of loan is that? Is that part of PSL? Right. Yes, you tell me in the comment section, is it part of PSL? So they aren't tough, but you need to prepare. So these are certain terminologies and certain things you need to go through, right? Because you want to work for a bank. So you have to show them that you're interested. If you're not able to convince them with that, they'll also not find you a suitable candidate, right? तो आप उनको ये मौका नहीं देंगे, आप इन पांचों चीज़ों पर काम करेंगे, ठीक है? और एक चीज़ मैंने बताई थी कि आपका जो रीजन है ना, उसमें स्पेसिफिकली क्या क्या होता है, रीजन रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस एग्रीकल्चर के, है ना, कि आपके रीजन में कौन से क्रॉप्स उग रहे हैं, कौन सा महीना में उग रहा है, इनफैक्ट कौन से स्कीम्स है जो उन्हें हेल्प कर रहे हैं। तो ये सब दिखाता है कि आप बहुत ऑब्जर्वेंट है। आप जब लोगों को दिखाते हैं कि आप ऑब्जर्वेंट हैं और आप में एम्पथी है, आप लोगों की परेशानी को समझने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, यू आर ट्राइंग टू बी इन द शूज, सो पीपल आर नेचुरली हैप्पी विथ यू, देन दे फील ओके दिस पर्सन डिजर्व्स अ चांस, राइट। ऐसे बहुत सारी चीज़ें मैं आगे भी डिस्कस करती रहूँगी। क्लैरिटी टॉक्स के और बहुत सारे एपिसोड्स आएंगे जिसमें हम और इस पर डीपली बात करेंगे कि और क्या क्या आप प्रिपेयर कर सकते हैं, है ना। लेकिन इन 5 चीज़ों को तो बिल्कुल मत छोड़िएगा, ठीक है। Okay, we have come to the last part. Here are some tips for you that you have to understand your current job, right? Then you have to keep up the schemes. And in terms of schemes also take care of, from what particular region you are coming. That region related knowledge also you need to have. Okay? Then confident speaking. If you're not confident in speaking, how will you talk to the farmers, right? How will you convince them? Right, then you have to have clear reasons for joining. Your why has to be clear. This is told enough times that you have to have a clear why. Suppose you want to help the rural sector grow, suppose your father was a farmer, that is how you got this inspiration. Anything can be your reason, right? When you started studying agriculture, now you cannot just say just because I've studied agriculture so I want to become an AFO. You have to have that reason clear, that okay, why did I choose agriculture in the first place? Because I somehow wanted to work in the rural sector, somehow I wanted to help the farmers, and that was my plan. That is why I have studied this subject and here I am today, reaching my goals. Then basic banking awareness. These kind of questions are often asked, you might have seen. So you have to be prepared with them. I already gave you certain terminologies. For example, PSL, right? Then you had NPA. So these kind of questions will be asked and you have to prepare them well. Alright? Okay, so you've got this. Prepare smartly and crack the IBPS AFO interview. But before that, there are 2 other stages, right? Pre and mains. So you have to clear both of them for you to be able to give the interview. I think firstly, right now you concentrate on pre and mains. You remember, I am again telling you, QRE section is going to be tougher. The cutoff is going to be high. So please prepare this well. Along with that, continue your mains preparation. And for interview, you are already preparing when you are preparing for the mains, right? Agriculture sector is sorted. Then you need to do a certain research about your area, about your education, right? And certain subject knowledge questions might be asked. So you need to be clear about these things, okay? Do the QRE part, then do the mains preparation. Along with the mains, your interview preparation will be done. So what you do is, whenever you get time, you start reading some magazines, the newspaper. Okay, so now you have a plan about how to clear pre, then mains. Already हमने अपनी टेस्ट सीरीज स्टार्ट कर दी है जिसमें हम आपका प्री मेंस का तैयारी करवा रहे हैं. जब आप इंटरव्यू मेंस को क्लियर कर देंगे तो आपकी इंटरव्यू की तैयारी भी हम करवाएंगे. ऑलराइट, ठीक है. तो अपना ध्यान रखिए और पढ़ते रहिए, ठीक है. हम मिलेंगे फिर से क्लैरिटी टॉक्स पे.
For more such videos, subscribe to the channel. And our initiative of IBPS AFO 24/7 test series by Clarity. In this test series, you will get daily subject-wise test, multi-level question, time-based QRE practice questions, weekly full-length test, and also detailed explanation. Along with that, you will get all the current affair related agricultural questions as well. Get yourself enrolled now.